Alright, so this will be a 7-game Premier League review. I was gonna make a video about Arsenal, but then I realized nobody would watch it, so now we're doing this. Getting right into it. I think Liverpool are gonna win the league right off the bat. I can't see anybody else challenging, and that's it. If Manchester City gets it together, they might be able to. I think Chelsea are too inconsistent, and yeah, we're done in that department. Looking at everything else, Arsenal have been decent defensively this season. I think they actually have the best defense this season. So that is impressive considering how bad they've been over the past couple of seasons. So they've improved there. Um, and yeah, just like look at this. This is going to be a weird season. I mean, I know we're right into it, but by the end of it, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, all right, this was a really odd season. Because yeah, looking at it, I mean, all right, let's talk about Burnley for a second. Actually, they've picked up 1 point out of how many games have they played? They played 6 games. They picked up 1 point out of 18. Now that is shocking. Considering that they finished in the top 10 last season, this is a dramatic fall. Yeah, that is bad. But moving on, who is interesting to talk about? Everton, yeah, Everton. They got a really good start. They won 4 games in a row, and now the wheels are starting to unravel, as I predicted. See, the thing about Everton is that, they did play well, but I didn't think that that form was sustainable, especially since that, James Rodriguez is injury prone. I always knew that, so he's going to be in and out of the side, which means that their form is going to be up and down. And on top of that, they've got a couple of players that have red cards, like Richarlison and Dean. That's always really going to affect you. And it looks like Everton. I don't even think they're gonna like. I thought maybe they might have a chance of finishing the top four, but I don't even think they're gonna do that. I think they're, excuse me, I think they'll finish in the top 10, but I think they'll probably miss out on Europe as well. I think that they had a good start, but they're just not going to be consistent enough to do well. And yeah, you know, then there's also Leeds as well. They've had a good start to the season. They're another team that's really hard to beat. They're sort of like I'd compare them more to Arsenal because they're really hard to play against because they're really well organized and like they're a team that really everybody knows what they have to do. Everybody knows their jobs, and they always play well. So you're always up for a game when you play them. Um, so yeah, I've been impressed with them this season, and yeah, I think they'll probably finish in the top 10. There's not really too many other teams to talk about, really. I think Southampton, I think, they did do well last season, although that game against Leicester was that was shocking. Apart from that, though, you know, apart from that game, they've looked really good. So for like the last, I don't know how long it is, the last, 7 to 8 months, they've looked really good. Could they finish in the top four? I don't think so. I think there's better teams in them, but yeah, top 10 finish this season. And yeah, what has happened with Manchester City actually? Because normally they're free scoring, they're scoring lots of goals, but this season they look like a mid-table side. They're just nicking games 1-0 here and there. They're not looking fluid. They're really struggling to string together passes. And it's so weird because Guardiola is one of those coaches he's like a Bielsa where he really pays attention to detail, but it's almost like that's gone out the window now. It's like, you know, fuck it, we're just gonna try and play and win games. Don't think about the plan. Let's just go out there and play. But they're not even playing. They're just like they're creating chances, but they're struggling. I don't know what's happening with them. I think after winning 2 titles in a row, they just flatlined. Like they just couldn't. Their levels just went down, and they can't bring it back up, or something like that. I don't know, man. Football is weird sometimes. You just can't explain some things. Um, and then there's Manchester United, the other Manchester club. So the thing about Manchester United is that a lot of people will say that, even United fans, that last season was a false result. The league table doesn't lie. So we were the third best side last season, but when you look at the league overall, it was a terrible league. You know, you know, so many teams underperformed, and now you're really starting to see the results of this season. Now that some teams have actually, getting their shit together, United's starting to struggle. And I think United having the worst. I mean, at home they're just shocking at home. United, what is it? 1 point. They picked up 1 point at home this season, and I think they've had four home games. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Chelsea, and Arsenal. They picked up 1 point in four league games, so 1 point out of 12 at home. And obviously, you only have 19 games at home, so already, like, the home form is like ridiculously bad. They're gonna have to try and salvage it, because if they don't, like, man, it's obviously gonna be a shit season. But holy crap, that is bad. I really have no words. I'm struggling to try and describe the situation, but this is as bad as it gets. I mean, this is if we're basing the league just on home form, this is relegation form. Like, that's how bad it is. It's lucky United's away form is actually good, but their style of play is actually suited to playing away from home, because they're playing the counter attack. Um, but yeah, it's like, what the hell. And looking at, yeah, Sheffield United, they're another team that, they finished in the top 10. They nearly finished in a European spot last season, but now they are rock bottom. It's amazing how much can change in one season. Like, they've literally gone from being a top side to like basement dwellers. And that picked up a point this season. They've scored 3 league goals this season, and they've played 7 games. So when you're looking at that, they can't even score. They're not even scoring 1 goal a game. That's like they're scrapping at the moment. They're just like, they can't create chances, or even when they do create chances, they don't take them. Against Manchester City, they had one really good chance, and it was more of like a half chance, because the chance was so hard to take that it would have been like a world class goal to score it. And that's the problem. They need to create easier chances to be able to score. And it's just not working out. And yeah, what's happened to Ollie Burke? Like, I thought he was doing well when he's in the squad, but now he's been dropped for Ryan Brewster. Which, does that make any kind of sense? Ollie Burke was actually doing well. He wasn't scoring, but he looked dangerous in the team. But then you drop him for a player that has barely played in the Premier League. Makes no sense. If I was Chris Wilder, I'd play both of them, because they need some pace up front, and if you put both of them together, maybe they can do something. Anyway, I'll probably wrap this video. This is going way longer than I thought it would. Um, but let's talk about Tottenham real quick, and then that'll probably be it. So yeah, Tottenham have the best attack in the league at the moment, which is, it probably shouldn't be surprising, because you look at some of the players they've got. Like, they should be scoring the most goals every season, apart from City, because City have they're probably the best attack on most seasons. Yeah, but 18 league goals. They're just scoring for fun on most occasions. Obviously, the United result was probably an outlier, because on another day they probably wouldn't have scored 6 goals. But it's whatever. Even the 5-0, no, the 5, was it 5-0? No, it was 5-1. No, 5-2. Sorry, bad memory. 5-2 against Southampton. That was kind of an outlier, because that doesn't happen too often. Scoring 5 goals in a game. But yeah, when it happens, it's fully deserved, because you're out there to score goals. You're not there to make friends. So that is about it. And yeah, I might make a part 2 of this, but depending on how the first video does, so we'll see what happens.